What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, what you should be watching for as time goes on, and how things are looking as we progress right now. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, don't forget to smash the like button. It not only benefits me, that benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, let's talk about the market. How are things looking? We are looking more bullish right now, but like I said before, resistance is still kind of tough right here in this 556 area for SPY. So I'll be watching to see what kind of reaction we get. Just note that at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today, that's about 15 minutes from now, we have the 3 and 6 month bill auctions coming out. So we'll see what happens when this data comes out. Might cause some volatility, but other than that, the market is still at these key levels. So for SPY, if we break out of the 556s, if you see 557 plus, we close above that, this thing is easily going to go very close to 560. If we don't end up holding above 556, we're at risk of dipping all the way down to 554, and eventually all the way back down towards lower supports like 552 and beyond. But for now, we are shuffling in the 556s, so we're doing a good job at trying to push. It's done relatively well, but resistance is very tough. I had this red uh, bar over here that kind of like encompassed the resistance. You guys can see how this is stopping SPY for now. So we haven't broken this yet. This is a very, very tough level, which is why we're shuffling. So we still have to wait and see if we can get that break. From a technical standpoint, we do look more bullish as we're making higher highs and higher lows, but this level is very tough, so we have to give SPY some more time. I know this may frustrate people when I don't really give you guys just one direction. It's because of the fact that we're at this new resistance and we have to give the chart time to develop. That's the reason why I'm being very patient and I'm not really favoring any direction yet. I just have to wait and see what we end up getting from here. So you guys already know what to expect once we see our levels, how they develop. So you already have the answer. If we break the 556s, we're going to be pushing closer to 560. If not, we're going to be dipping to our next support, the 20 EMA. So far, so good. ES is at resistance as well, which is dictating SPY. Why do I call out this bar? So look at this big red bar right here. This is the previous resistance. We're forming a giant cup on ES, and we're doing a good job at holding up. But the question is, how will we develop from here? So it depends. If we could break up and hold above the 5600s, I'd be looking for 5625, and that would help SPY pump quite a bit. If we reject off 5600, we don't hold above this, we are at risk of coming back down towards the 5570s or even below that. So we'll just have to wait and see at this resistance. Once again, the last time we hit this, we did reject, but this time we're showing some strength. So we'll see, does SPY break this resistance or not? We're trying to hold above 5600, so we'll give it some time. As long as we hold above this, we are favoring upside. So ES is doing a good job. ES is doing a great job at holding up. Other stocks like Nvda are trying to push right now. I did call it 126 to be tested. We'll see if that breaks. If it does break, we could be getting closer to 129. I think we may slowly continue this uptrend. Now, if we do reject just under 126, we're at risk of returning to about 123 to 121.5. But overall, we are still looking more bullish on Nvidia, and we are favoring that gap fill for the 126s. So I do see some more upside potential on Nvidia, and we look bullish nonetheless. For Bitcoin, like I said in my video earlier, I said that there's a risk of Bitcoin dipping a little bit. And you guys could see we kind of pushed a bit only to just come down a little. So watch 58,000. If that doesn't hold, we could be dipping all the way down to at least 57,200. So just be mindful of that. There's a risk of us kind of coming down. For others out there like Tesla, we're doing a good job on Tesla. We're trying to make higher highs and higher lows. This 220 areas are resistance, the same resistance as what we saw on Friday. So we're still kind of shuffling here. If we break this, we're easily going to 222, then 225. If we reject off 220, I'd be looking for 217, followed by the 215 area and then 211. But Tesla's looking more bullish. It's still favoring upside in terms of its trend, and the setup is still looking pretty good in my opinion. There is upside potential for Tesla to get to the 230s over the next couple of weeks. So we look bullish on Tesla. We're doing a good job at holding up. Let's see where we close. As long as we're very close to 220 or even above that, we are still in a very, very good place. We're still holding above this trend line very nicely. We're above our EMAs, and there's potential for this to push even higher in my opinion. For the QQQ, we're doing a pretty good job. We're kind of shuffling in the 476 area. If we break through the 476s, we could be pushing for the 480s. If we reject off 476 and start tipping, I'd be basically looking for 472, then eventually a move back down towards 468. Regardless of if we do get that dip, this could be forming like a slanted inverse head and shoulders. Whether this is like going to be the case or not, that depends on a lot of different factors, like the FOMC minutes and such. But the QQQ looks more bullish. It still looks more bullish. It's doing a great job at holding up. So I think this move is still favoring that upwards direction. So great job from the QQQ. We'll see if we hold above the 476s to continue higher. So we're at some tough resistance, but just give it some time, at least for the time being. So give it some time. We'll see if this could hold above the 476s and close above that. So we'll see how things develop. IWM is doing a good job. One of my favorite setups right now. We are doing a good job at holding up. Had we lost 212.5, we could have sank to about 210 before trying to bounce. And because we're holding above 213, our target's now 216. I think we might just slowly make our way up to 216. We're creeping up slowly, slowly, slowly. I think we're doing a great job, in my personal opinion. So we're looking amazing. We're doing a good job at holding up, and I think there's a good chance we continue this push. So great job from the IWM, and this is looking pretty good, especially for the small caps that are following it. For Coinbase, we have resistance currently at this 203 area. We'll be watching to see if we reject or not. We're barely, testing resistance. I said we have to hold above 203 to remain bullish. Because we're below it, we're now just in our range again. Our support to watch for us at 199. If we lose 199, we're at risk of dipping down to like 195, by the way. I think we could just shuffle here, but overall, we are looking pretty good on coin. Amazon's looking decent. We have resistance currently at this 180 area, and we have supported around this 174 zone. We're kind of stuck in the middle. I think that Amazon is going to continue to shuffle around 177. It might dip to about 174 before trying to bounce again and push back up to 180. So I think we will get to 180, but we could dip first before we get up there. So it's still doing a decent job at holding up. And for Meta, we're looking at 525 as support. If we lose this, we'll be dipping down to about 520. So it might dip a little bit before it tries to bounce again. So we'll see. But just know that Meta is at risk of dipping a little bit. I think 525 could be tested, if not a little bit lower, before it tries to bounce. Microsoft could also dip. We could be retesting basically 415, and we'll see if we get a bounce or not on Microsoft. But I think we have a very, very nice looking setup right here. I think that, even if we do dip a bit, we could rebound. It might retest 415 before it tries to bounce, so just be mindful of that. And then Google's looking pretty decent. So I'll be looking at basically this gap towards 168. I think we could push a little bit more and slowly creep our way up to 168. So Google looks pretty decent in my opinion as well. So overall, Tesla's doing a good job at holding up. SPY is trying to hold up, but it's at resistance. Same thing with the QQQ. And the best setup right now, at least out of many of these different ETFs, would be like the IWM. I think it looks really nice, and we're doing a good job at holding up. We could be pushing for that 216 target very soon. Anyways, that's it for my video. I want to thank you all so much for listening. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours for another update, and peace out.